श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। अत्र नैनं छिन्दन्ति इत्यत्र शस्त्रादीनां तन्नाशक सामर्थ्यभावः उक्तः। अच्छेद्योऽयमित्यादौ तस्य छेदकादि कर्मत्व अयोग्यत्वमुक्तः उक्तम्। अव्यक्तोऽयमित्यत्र तच्छेदादि ग्राहकमान अभावः उक्तः इति अपौनरुक्त्यं द्रष्टव्यम्। So here this is where we stopped. Here he says nainam chindanti shastrani. With this he explained very clearly that it cannot be cut with instruments. Okay, then achedyoyam ityado, with achedyo etc. he said this self does not become an object of any action of cutting etc. Then tab avyaktoyam itra, with avyakta etc. he said that this self is not an object of the action of cutting. First, the self cannot be cut with a weapon. Second, it cannot be an object of the cutting. It cannot be object of the action of cutting. With third, he said it cannot be object of the action of cutting which is based on something. So, first he said it cannot be cut with instruments. Second, that instrument with what you cut, that object of that cutting, this self cannot be. Object of that cutting, this self cannot be. Okay? Now, that action of cutting, for that this self cannot be object. So, self cannot be grasped through this action of cutting etc. So, even if you accept it as an action of it to be an object of cutting etc., that also is not possible. So he says it is drashtam. So why are you saying this? It is neither the subject or object or the object of object. Why are you saying this? Because Veda Vinashanam ityadinam tu avyakta iti ukta iti apaunarukyam drashtavyam. This is what is the point. Therefore, here he is not repeating his ideas. He is presenting different ideas. It is not cut with instruments. It is not cut with instrument. It is not an object of the action of cutting. It is not object of the action of cutting, which is it cannot be grasped through the action of cutting. Like that, he is differentiating three actions. So there is no repetition here. वेदा विनाशनम इत्यादीनां तु श्लोकानाम् अर्थतः शब्दतश्च पौनरुक्त्यं भाष्यकृद्भिः परिहृतम्. This is where we stop. The statement that Veda vinashanam ityadinam tu, in the shloka, the non-repetitiveness by there can be repetitiveness in two ways. One, with words. Using same words again and again is repeating, and you are using different words though, but still you are referring to the same thing. The meaning is same. Therefore, either you can do the repetition through words or through the meaning. Both of them are negated by Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya Bhagavan himself in his Bhashya, where 2:24. There he has said, Durbodhatvad Atmavastunaha पुनः पुनः प्रसंगमापाद्य शब्दांतरेण तदेव वस्तु निरूपयति भगवान् वासुदेवः। कथं नु नाम संसारिणां बुद्धिगोचरम् आपन्नं तत्त्वं संसार निवृत्तये स्यादिति. So he says, दुर्बोधत्वात् आत्मवस्तुनः, since this knowledge of the self is cannot be gained easily. Durbodhatva, dukkhena bodhyamati durbodhyam. It is very tough to get the knowledge of the self. Therefore, punaha prasangam apadya. Wherever there is a possibility of the idea, There and all he is introducing this teaching under Shabdantrena Vastu Tade Vastu Nirupati. With different words he is referring to the same idea again and again. Who? Bhagavan Vasudeva. Bhagavan Vasudeva refers to the same thing again and again. Why? Why does he do this repetition? That is a defect, isn't it? Though he takes that defect on himself, he is doing it for the sake of our benefit. Why he says, Katham nu nama samsarinam buddhigochanapannam tattvam samsara nivrittiyasya. How can this, for these people who are samsaris, for these people who are born and dead again and again, for them, samsara nivrittiye, to get rid of this samsara, to get rid of this birth and death, buddhi gocharamapannam tattvam. How can I give this knowledge to them so that they understand it so clearly and they get rid of the samsara? Thinking this, he is repeating again and again. Iti vadadhi. This is what people say. Therefore, here we have to understand. 2 pages ago, in 117, in 115, there the idea which was presented there in 115, the idea which was presented there by Bhagavan Madhusudan Saraswati was negated vehemently by one Dhanapati Suri in his commentary called Bhashya Utkarsha Deepika. He says whatever Madhusudan Saraswati Bhagavan is explaining here is in contradiction with the teaching of Acharya. Therefore, it should not be accepted in this way. He is negating, condemning Madhusudan Saraswati Bhagavan's commentary. There is another commentary which is written by Bachcha Sharma, who very clearly says that there is no contradiction. Bhagavan Bhashyakara says in this angle and Acharya is saying, Madhusudan Bhagavan saying is in this angle. Therefore, there cannot be any contradiction between these two things. In this way, he is trying to manage the bridge the gap between these two commentaries. So now we understand, and he's there. I said in the Veni itself, I said Bhagavan, this is loosely based on Bhagavan Bhashyakara's Bhashya. Though he is not commenting upon it, he is basing it on his Bhashya. He himself very clearly established it in this introductory shlokas. That can be reiterated through this. It can be understood. He is reiterating the same idea here. How? He is saying he is presenting the Bhashya itself. I don't have to do any negation. Read the Bhashya. It is very clearly negated there. In this way, he is presenting the Bhashya itself. So we can understand his respect for Bhagavan Bhashyakara. Evam purvokta yuktibhi atmano nityatve nirvigaratve cha siddhe tatra tava shoko navannayati upasamharati. Since in this way, through the logic, we have established the Atma is eternal and Atma is something which does not undergo transformation. This we have established. Therefore, regarding that, there is no possibility of sorrow, etc. for you. Iti upasamharati. In this way, he is concluding the discussion. Tasmaditi arthena, with the second half of the shloka. Yetadrisha atmaswarupa vedanasya shoka karana nivartakatvat tasmin sati shoko nauchitaha karana abhave. It should be okay. Karana abhave karya abhavasya avashakatvat. So he says, okay, now Etadrisha Atma Surupa Vedanasya. This kind of experience of the self, experience in quotes, is this kind of experience of the self, knowing the self. Shoka Karan Nivartakatvat is the cause for getting rid of the sorrow. Therefore, Tasmin Sati Shoko Nauchita. When this knowledge is there, there is no possibility of this. There is no possibility of this shoka to exist. Cannot accept shoka there. Therefore, how? Karna abhave karya abhavasya avashakatvat. Because if there is absence of cause, there should be absence of effect. The cause for sorrow is ignorance. And absence of cause, absence of ignorance means absence of its effect, which is sorrow. Therefore, he says that is necessary. Tena atmanam aviditva yad anvashochadha tad yuktamaya. Therefore, since now you don't have the knowledge of the self, therefore worrying about or being in sorrow about the people whom you are about to kill is logical, because you don't have the knowledge. Atmanam viditvato, but after knowing the self, nan shochitam arhasi iti abhipraya. There is no possibility of worrying about them. There is no possibility of any sorrow after the dawn of knowledge. This is the idea here. Evam atmano nirvigarattvena ashochittam uttam. Idanim vigaratvam abhipetyapi shloka dvayena ashochittam pratipādeti Bhagavan. See, atmano nirvikarattvena ashochittam uttam evam. Now, until this, we accepted Atma is nirvikara, nitya. Atma is eternal and Atma is that which something which does not undergo transformation. Based on this idea, we explained. Now, idanim vikaratvam abhipetyapi. Now, for the sake of discussion, even if you accept the self to be something which undergoes transformation, still, shlokadvayena ashochyatvam, still there is no question of sorrow. This idea he is establishing in two shlokas, next two shlokas. Pratipādeti Bhagavan establishes in next two shlokas. Tatra atma jnana swarupaha pradikshana vinashi iti saugataha. See, first saugataha means sugata means Buddha, saugataha means the followers of Buddhism. Okay, they say what? Atma jnana swarupaha. Atma is of the nature of knowledge, but still pradikshana vinashi. It gets destroyed every moment. Atma is non-eternal. That's the idea. It is momentous. Atma, though is of the form of knowledge, it is momentous. That is what they call alaya vijnana. Vijnana means knowledge. Alaya means changing. So that which that knowledge which changes, that is what they accept as self. The knowledge which transforms, which is momentous, which is kshanika, is the self. Now, deha eva atma. The Charvakas, the materialist people, accepted the body as the self. Such a sthiro api anukshana parinami. Though the self is sthira means eternal, but still anukshana parinami, it changes every moment. Jayate nashyati, not eternal. Sthira means it is established, it exists. Though it exists, it is not momentous like you say. Though it exists for a period of time, it is changing every other second. Therefore, jayate nashyati, and it is born and it also dies. Pratyaksha siddham eva etaditi. This is seen, this is perceived by everyone in here. Therefore, iti lokaitika. This is what the lokaitikas, the Charvakas, the materialistic people say. What do they say? The body is self, and the body gets transformed every second. There is a new body, there is a new person every second. That is why the Western philosopher Heraclitus says, same person cannot stand in the running water for 2 seconds. Either the water changes or the person change. So therefore, there is the change is absolutely accepted. Though the body stays for a long period of time, it is not momentous. Deha atirikto api dehena sahaiva jayate nashyati chaityanni. No. The Atma is not the body. The self is not the body. Self is something which is different from the body. Meaning the prana or the vital or the sense organs, indriya. So there is another group in materialistic field, materialistic school, which accept the sense organs or the vital act to be the self. Though the self is different from the body, sense organ, body, still it is born along with the body and it dies along with the body. Sense organs are born along with the body and dies along with the body. Prana, if you accept prana as the vital air as the self, then prana also is born along with the body and dies along with the body. सर्गाद्य काले एव आकाशवत् जायते देह भेदे अपि अनुवर्तमानः एव आकल्पस्थायी नश्यति प्रलयेत्यत्र. So the other people say, no, the self is like this. It is born during the time of creation and it stays eternally till the time of dissolution. Until that period, the self stays. That is the eternity of the self. This is what some people accept. Nitya eva atma jayate mrite iti tarkikaha. Tarkika, the logicians say the Atma is eternal, but still what happens is it is born and it dies. What? Atma is eternal, you heard it right. Atma is eternal, but still it is born and it dies. What kind of logician are you? You say Atma is eternal and you accept the birth and death of Atma. How can that be possible? So he says, Tathahi, this is how it is. Pretya bhava janma. Pretya bhava means after death. Pretya means after death. Bhava means existence. Existence after death is called as janma. Okay? Birth. Such a apurva dehendriya sambandha. So that is because of association with a new body sense organ complex. Apurva means new. Apurva means because of the old. So because of the old, you are getting connected to the new body sense organ complex. You are associated with the new body sense organ complex. Now, therefore he says, Evam maranamapi purvadehendriyadi vichchedha. The death also, what does death means? Birth means associating yourself with new body sense organ complex. Death means disassociating yourself from the body sense organ complex. So he says, idam cha ubhayam, both associating and dissociating from the body sense organ complex, both of them are based on dharma adi nimittatvad. They are based on the dharma and adharma, the punya and papa, the merits and demerits. Therefore, tad adharasya nityasya mukti. The substratum for the association with body sense organ complex and dissociation with them is the punya papa, the karma. The karma is eternal. That is why the self is accepted to be eternal. That is the primary idea. Anityasya tu krita. If you accept that also, the punya papa also as anitya, then what will happen? Kritahanya kritabhyagama prasangena. You will fall into the trap of kritahani and akritabhyagama. Meaning whatever karmas you performed, they will get lost. And whatever karmas you have not performed, you will be associated with it. So this kind of error will be there. Dharma adharatva anupattehe. There will be no possibility of dharma and adharma. Therefore, tena janma marane mukhye iti vadanti. Therefore, the birth and death is primary, not the karmas themselves. In this way, some people accept. Now, nityasya pi atmanah karna shashkuli janmana akashasiva deha janmana janma tannashacha maranam tadubhayam aupachikam amukhyam eva iti anye. Other people say, no. The birth and death is not primary, they are secondary. Because like the object, the ear which we see, the external ear which we see, the lobe, ear lobe. Because of the creation of ear lobe, there is a limiting agent which limits the space. Therefore, we say the space is created. The space which is limited by the ear lobe is called as a earlobe space. There we say the space is created. Like the pot, the space engulfed by the pot, limited by the pot is created once the pot is created. Similarly, the space engulfed by the, embodied by the earlobe is created while the earlobe is created. Therefore, and this is called as upadhi. This is called as the limiting agent. And this limiting agent, if it is destroyed, whatever it is limiting also gets destroyed. This is what they say. The space, the pot space gets destroyed once the pot is destroyed. The earlobe space gets destroyed once the earlobe is destroyed. Similarly, the body sense organ complex, which is the limiting agent, if that is destroyed, the self is destroyed. This is what some people accept. Some other people accept. तत्र अनित्यत्व पक्षेपि शोच्यत्वम् आत्मनो निषेधति. So even if you accept the self to be non-eternal, still there is no question of a sorrow with respect to this non-eternal self. That is what Bhagavan says now. Acacca enam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam thapi tvam mahabaho naivam shocitam arhasi. Acacca enam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam तथापि त्वं हे महाबाहः नैवं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. हे महाबाहो, man of valor, listen to me. Athacha enam nityajatam. If you accept this body sense organ complex, this self to be eternal, born eternally, eternal is born eternally, or if you accept the self to die eternally, meaning always it will follow, it will experience death. If you accept the self to be born again and again, or if you accept the self to die again and again, whichever way, tathapi tvam na evam shochitam arhasi. Even though if you accept it to be born and again and again born, or being again and again dead, still in this way, na evam, in this way there is no possibility, there is no reason for you to worry, be in sorrow. Hey Mahabaha. Atha iti pakshantre. Atha is to hereafter. Therefore, in this way he is presenting a new idea. Cha api arthe. Cha, that atha cha, that cha is in the sense of api also. Even so, what is he saying? Yadi durbodhatvad atmastunah asagat shravane api avadharana asamarthyat mad ukta paksha anangikarena pakshantaram abhipeshi. Yadi durbodhatvad atmastunah, since this knowledge of self is very difficult to gain, asagat shravane api, even after listening to it again and again, avadharana asamarthyat, you are not able to grasp it, you are not able to understand it, because of this madukta pakshan angikarena, because of which you are not able to understand whatever idea I present to you. You don't accept whatever idea I present to you, and therefore pakshantaram abhipeshi, you are saying no, whatever you say that is not right, I will accept something else other than whatever you say. If you say so, tatrapi, even though anityatva paksham eva ashritya yadi enam atmanam nityam jatam nityam mritam va manyase, even so, if you don't accept the atma to be eternal, the self to be eternal, as I said, and you accept the self to be non-eternal, meaning it is to be something which is born again and again, or which dies again and again, even so, va shabdascharthe, this word va is used in the meaning of and. Okay, kshanikatva pakshe nityam pradikshanam pakshantre avashakatvad nityam niyatam jatoyam mrutoyamiti laukika pratyavashena yadi kalpayasi. Now, kshanikatva pakshe, accepting the self to be momentous, you say nityam pradikshanam pakshantre avashakatvad. If you accept the self to be momentous, every second it has to take a new form. Therefore, nityam niyatam jato ayam. Therefore, it is born eternally again and again, or it dies eternally. Whichever way. See, you can see the half cup to be half full or half empty. So, same way, you can accept the body, the self to be born again and again, or die again and again, whichever way you want to see. It is taking a new birth, in the next second, you are taking a new birth. Therefore, you can say the self is born again and again. Or in the previous second it has died. Therefore, you can say the self dies again and again. Whichever way you can say. Laukika pratyavashena. Because of this kind of idea which you see in which you perceive in the world, yadi kalpesi, if you imagine the self to be born again and again or die again and again, tathapi, even though, he Mahabaha, oh man of valor, Purusha Dhaure iti Sobhasam Kumata Abhyumat. He is ridiculing this Arjuna. You are such a great man, you are thinking in such a stupid way. Now, I have gone to surrender myself. I have surrendered myself to Bhagavan, and Bhagavan is taking pot shots at me. What is this? Even a normal person should not do that, will not do that. And Bhagavan, to person who has surrendered himself completely, and Bhagavan being Bhagavan, how can he take pot shots? No, he is not taking pot shot. You can accept it in another meaning. He says, Tvai yetashi kudrishti na sambhavati sanukampamba. So in this way, in you, there can be no possibility of this kind of wrong idea. In this way, he is out of compassion saying this. Oh Mahabaho, remember yourself. Think about yourself, who you are. You should never definitely have this kind of low level thoughts. In this way, he is trying to wake him up from his sleep. So he says, Evam aho bata mahat papam kartum vivasita vayam ityadi yatha shochasi evam prakaram anushokam kartum tvayamapi tvam tadrisha eva san narvasi yogyo nabhavati. The idea is this. He says, aho bhatamaha papam ho. We were about to do a very great sin. In this way, he included Bhagavan also. In this, for that he says, Bhagavan says now here, yatha shochasi. With this, you are in a great sorrow, in great despair. Now, evam prakaram tvam. This kind of you, who is great valorous man, anushokam kartum swayamapi na tvam tadrisha eva nasa. Being that kind of man of valor, you have no eligibility. You don't qualify to be in that kind of sorrow, in that kind of despair. That is what Bhagavan says. Shanikatvakshe, Dehatmatvadakshe, Dehena, Saha, Janvinashapakshe cha, Janmantra bhavena, Pava Bhaya Sambhavad, Pava Bhayena eva, Khalu Tum Anushochasi. So, okay, let us take the self to be momentous. Self to be momentous means whether you take the body to be the self, or the body to be born along with the self to be born along with the body sense organ complex. Whether you accept the body sense organ complex to be self, or the self to be born along with the body sense organ complex as having the body sense organ complex as its limiting agent. Whichever way, Janmantra abhavena, there is no possibility of another birth. Once this body is destroyed, there is no possibility of another birth being associating with another birth. Once this body is destroyed, the self also is destroyed, therefore there is no association with another body. Therefore, Papa Bhaya Asamva, there is no question of sin. Because only when you are associated with another body, you can experience those results of the sin. Therefore, Papa Bhaya Neva Jakhalu Tom Shochati. You are worried because of that sin. Now you will not be associated with any kind of sin. So you don't have to worry. Tacha edadrishe darshnecha na sambhavati. When if you have this kind of idea that the self is eternal, then you can never have the sorrow. If you have the self is non-eternal, still you can never have the sorrow. Iti na sambhavati. Shanikatapakshecha drishtamapi dukkham na sambhavati. Bandhu vinasha darshitva abhavat iti adhikam. And there is another vision. Another idea here. See, if you accept the self to be kshanika, self to be momentous, then I kill you. I see you getting killed. Second moment, I don't exist. That person who perceived the enemy to be killed doesn't exist. Therefore, there is no question of sorrow. You see, even if you accept the self to be momentous, then even if you see this, the opponent to be destroyed, your relatives to be killed, still that person does not exist in the second moment. Therefore, there is no question of sorrow. Pakshantre, drishta dukkha. Therefore, this perceived sorrow, the sorrow which is gained because of perceiving the dead people, that also will not be there. Now, therefore, pakshantre dushta dukkha nimittam shokam abhyagama shokam abhyagnatum evankaraha. Pakshantre, Drishta Dukkha Nimittam. In the second idea, in the second choice, he says Drishta Dukkha Nimittam. Because of this sorrow of seeing the relatives being dead, killed, Shoka Abhyagatum Evankarha. Accepting the Shoka, for that he says Evam. Okay, you see the dead person and you are worried, but still the second moment you don't see them, you don't exist. The person who perceived does not exist. Even if you say so, okay, he existed, Drishta Dukkha Nimitta Shoka Sambhave Api. Even if you say, okay, still I saw, when I saw, at that point of time I will definitely experience the sorrow, isn't it? If you say, even if it be so, Adrishta Dukkha Nimittaha Shoka Sarvata Naujitaha Ityatha. Even if you experience for that moment sorrow, in the next moment or for the later part after death, there is no punya papa, therefore there is no association with punya papa, therefore there is no reason for your sorrow. Ityartha Prathama Slokasya. This is what he refers to in the first sloka. Now, Atmanaha Abhuta Samplavasthayitva Pakshe. Now, if you accept the Atma to be Abhuta Samplavasthayi, Atma to be Abhuta Samplavasthayi means it is born while the creation came into existence. Samplava means Abhuta means while the creation came into existence. Samplava means when there is dissolution. You accept Sthayi means existence. If you accept the existence of the self right from the creation till the end of creation, still Tathapi, in that state also, Nityatvakshe, if you accept that kind of Nitya, self to be that kind of eternal, then Drishta Dukkha Sambhavat Tad Bhayena Shochami Iti. So, if I accept the self to be eternal from the point of creation till the dissolution of creation, then there is the sorrow of seen and unseen. Meaning sorrow of perceiving the dead and sorrow of gaining the sin of killing my own people, and I will be experiencing that sin in the next birth. So because of these two reasons, these two sorrows definitely exist. Therefore I am worried, I am in sorrow. In this way, Shochamiti Ataha Dvitiya Shokena. To negate this, Bhagavan says in the next shloka. See, this is the difference between Sanatana Dharma, Vedic school and the other teaching. Now, we accept the self to be not born once. It is born again and again until you gain the knowledge of the self. Until you know the truth about the self, you will be born again and again. You are not born again. That's not the idea. We are talking about being born again and again. You will be born again and again. You will take new bodies till you don't understand the self. You don't gain the knowledge of the self. Till that, there is no escape from this birth and death. And that is why there can be no discrimination between one person and another person here. If a person has a complete proper knowledge about this teaching, then there can be no discrimination about you are this class, you are that caste. There can be no caste discrimination, because a person born in a higher class or caste in this birth can be born in a lower class and caste, or even better, he may be born as an animal. So there can be no discrimination in this Sanatana Dharma. Therefore he says, Dvitiya Shlokana, he is negating that idea also in the second shloka. Jatasya dhruva mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharyarthe nattam shochitam arhasi. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityuh dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharyarthe nattam shochitam arhasi. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityuh. Dhruva nishchitah, definitely. Mrityuh, death. Jatasya, for the one who is born. For the one who is born, death is imminent. And for the one who is dead, birth is imminent. Mrita dhruvam janma mritasya cha. For a person who is dead, birth is imminent. Because until the creation exists, he has to be born after death. Born, dead, born, dead, born, dead. This cycle has to go on till the dissolution. Tasmat, therefore, apariharyarthe, you cannot escape the cycle of birth and death. You cannot do anything to get rid of the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, nattam shoshitum arhasi. This kind thing which you cannot escape from, for that there is no reason of being worried. There is no reason of being in sorrow, because you cannot get rid of it. Apariharya, this is something which you cannot get rid of. Therefore, there is no point in being worried about something which you cannot get rid of. You cannot escape. You will see this. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.